All right, that being said, let's get on to the achievements. First off, we've got scale. What you can see here is this is the first level, but the scale of this level is such that you are a small character on a very large looking motherboard. In other words, you're a tiny guy. And as a nod to nostalgia, this is modeled after a modern take on a Commodore 64 built with current components. Let's also talk about some of these other achievements. We've got animation. I'll go through some of the scripts because you're going to see a lot of this stuff in the gameplay video as well. So like your VHS tapes, they're constantly rotating. And when you pick them up, they're actually going to rotate much faster around the y-axis and lift up. So that's why we've got the lift, we've got other stuff. Our standard ice controller also is going to change its look rotation to look at the player. So we're controlling rotations of different things, the vertical height of different things through scripting animations. Locomotion is done through the player teleporter script. This black base is all acceptable teleportation surface. Now physics, what you'll see in the example of the gameplay, when you're moving around the puzzle, the ball rolls with physics. We also, when you destroy an enemy, what happens is he gets replaced with a different prefab that has rigid bodies attached to different parts. And we go ahead and start applying gravity and a little explosion force when he dies. So that's going to be the reason why the enemies crumble when you shoot them. Video player, very fun videos. Like I said, some clips from some good old movies. We've got a tutorial that's done as a video from my friend and fellow streamer Katie Xanatos. And for empathy, I'm showing you what it's like to be a hacker. I didn't do that one. Alright, so let's move on to completeness. And by the way, that was 500 in fundamentals. I didn't do baking lights because I'm just learning Blender and I botched the UV maps and oh well, I got enough points in the other sections. So completeness, we've got gamification, which is the collecting of those VHS. Your diegetic UI, so you have to navigate your yellow ball and collect the green spheres and not hit the red ones. Now if you're not sure what happens or what's the good ones, what's the bad ones, I mean it's fairly obvious unless you're colorblind. Sorry, have a colorblind mode. But when you hit a green sphere, you're going to get a sound that says like, oh, good job. And when you hit a red sphere, it's going to be like, burp, and reset. So you kind of get an idea of what you're doing. And not only that, but our intro tutorial video kind of beckons you. But this is a tutorial, and instead of saying like, hey, I'm a tutorial, blah, 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 it just kind of invites your attention with an interrobang, which makes you want to shoot it. AI achievement, now our enemies move around on a navigation mesh, and these red spheres are patrol points. You can see that they kind of run around on their own. Let's go ahead and go on and talk about the 3D modeling. The gun, the enemies, and the motherboard. We've seen the motherboard, and for the challenges, I have 2 rounds of user testings with my friend Katie Xanatos. One when I had a lot of prototypes built out, which is, I was like, hey, come over and try the puzzle. I was like, oh, there's some problems with it. My head went through and I pushed the ball out of the puzzle, and also I can take the puzzle out of the puzzle area and block bullets with it. And then we did combat, and he was like, yeah, it's finding me a little bit too easily. Its tracking is a little bit too good, so I kind of made it a little bit more dumb in some ways so that you can kind of sneak up behind stuff. So yeah, I think that will totally take care of the achievements, the requirements.